Hello, everybody. Welcome back to today's episode of Training Tapes. Thank you for joining me in my bed. Not sure why you guys are in here, but welcome. It's been a good week. We had some really big lifts this week, some big push jerks. We had a huge deadlift session and some sandbag throws. So be sure to stay to the end of the video so you can see all the lifts, and thank you guys for watching. Alrighty, like I said, we have some big deadlifting this week. The program was $495 for 5, and so being an idiot, I put 5 extra pounds on there so that I could say I did 500 pounds. Did it go well? I guess you'll have to wait and see. Push jerks at 235 for 3, and sandbag toss. I finally got the 40-pound bag over relatively comfortably. Yippee! It's about freaking time. So thank you guys for watching, and let's head to the film room to check it out. Alrighty, so we had a very big week this week. Starting with this video here, I've been doing some Olympic weightlifting style movements in the push jerk that I've been playing around with to try to get some more explosivity into my leg drive. One of the biggest things that I struggle with on push press is the snappy leg drive to get the bar off my chest as hard as possible, which is what makes the lockout harder. So incorporating some push jerks in to not only learn a new movement so that I can move maximal weight, but also improve the other movements that I've been doing. So the video we're looking at today, I have 235 for 3. This one was nothing crazy. I've done a little bit more weight on this movement before, but this week, this set moved really, really well. Leg drive was really snappy, lockout was really good. Focusing on popping into the lockout as hard as possible with my elbows and my shoulders. That way I can get used to the feeling of what it's like for my legs to be really snappy. And as you can see, the leg drive is nice and straight up and down. There is very minimal knee travel forward, which is what we're trying to avoid, because with any good leg drive into a press, whether it's an Olympic movement or just a normal push press, you want your hips to be traveling up and down as much as possible rather than forward and back. That way you can ensure that all of the force you're producing goes straight up into whatever it is you're trying to lift. So from top to bottom here, I'm really proud of these ones. I'm getting really snappy with the catch, making sure that all the pressure is mid-foot, because if you end up on your toes too bad, that's how you get the knee travel forward in both the dip and the catch, in this case on the push jerk. But on a push press, especially on a log, like I was talking about last week, if I get too far forward, that log will tend to roll right off my chest, which is what we don't want. So this movement is doing a very good job of reinforcing the patterns that I'm going to use for my other pressing lifts. Another thing I want to show you guys this week from training is I did a little bag toss series. I've never tried a bag toss series before. So today I played around with doing a run with 4 bags in a row, and the increments that were most convenient for me, we have a 25, a 35, we don't have a 30 at Spider, but 25, 35, 40, and 45. And a little small victory for me today, I got the 40 over on my first try in this series. Didn't get the 45, unfortunately, because that's a little bit outside my range right now. But I think we can work up to where I could probably get a 45 and maybe even a 50 if I can get the technique down on this. In November at River City, I failed a 40-pound bag over 15 feet, which is what this height is here. I failed that in just a controlled single throw. So to get 40 over 15 feet in a series is like huge, really cool for me. And the biggest things that I need to improve on this one are the snappiness of my throw, the wind up, make sure I don't lose tension, and then just the follow through. I tend to follow through with only my right arm for some reason. I don't know why I do that, but I need to make sure I'm equal on both hands, both feet. again with the midfoot pressure, so that then I can extend all the way and drive into the bag. So those are the first two lifts I wanted to go over today. Pretty simple, pretty easy, but the pinnacle for me of this week was a huge set of deadlifts. I knew coming into this week that we were going to have a big deadlift session on Thursday. I was nervous about it all week because I freak myself out for no reason. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be, but I knew that we had been talking about 5 plates for 5 reps. So for anyone unfamiliar with the American measurement of plates, each plate's 45 pounds. So that means 5 plates is 495 pounds. Now, I have a really big history, as you guys have seen on the channel before, with 500 pounds on my deadlift. I've gotten to the point where I can somewhat comfortably do it for a single or even a double. I've done it for a double a couple times now, but 5 reps at 495 is a huge thing for me mentally. So I was at the gym very nervous about this lift, really thinking about it, really overthinking it, to be honest with you, to the point where I was like on the verge of throwing up before this lift because I got so nervous about it. But what ended up happening was my coach wrote down 495 for 5 on the program. And so when I got to the gym, I was going to say, depends on how I'm feeling for the day. I don't know how I'm going to be feeling. I want to try for 500 pounds for 5 because 500 pounds sounds cooler than 495. And to a non-weightlifter, if I tell someone I can deadlift 500 pounds for reps, that sounds cooler than saying I deadlift 495 for 5 reps. So as stupid as that might be, I decided to go for 500 pounds. And the rule between myself and my coach, I don't know if I'm the one that came up with this or he is or whatever, regardless, it's you can go up from what was programmed, but you better not fail. So I decided to go up by 5 pounds, and this was the result. I'm going to go ahead and let the video play all the way through so you can see the set from start to finish, and then we'll go over the technique at the end. So watching through this set, I really needed to make sure that I started in a good position, right? We talked about my deadlift position starting last week, tucking my lats in really tight, making sure that everything is solid. And the first few reps, honestly, in the video, they flew pretty well. So really no hiccups until about the 4th rep. 4th rep looked good, it looked a little bit slow, but then in my head, it felt really, really heavy when I went for rep number 4. So on rep number 5, I knew that I was gonna have to dig in really, really deep and really try my absolute best if I was going to get all 5 reps. So my form broke down on rep number 5. It definitely was not as good as it could have been. I lost a little bit of lat tightness. I arched my back quite a bit, and I really didn't get much leg drive into it. So it was mostly my lower and mid back in this lift. Now, did I get it? Yes. Are you supposed to deadlift like that? No. So this is a word of caution to anyone deadlifting like that. That's how you get hurt. I just got a little bit lucky on that one. I am extremely proud of this set. I would have liked for rep number 5 to look the same as all the other reps, but at a weight that heavy, it's kind of understandable that my technique is going to break down a little bit. I was nervous. These things happen, right? Really proud of those first 4. The 5th one took me a full 10 seconds, which is a lot of seconds for a deadlift rep. But like I said, I got it. Really proud of that this week, and now I can say that I have achieved what used to be a lifelong dream of deadlifting 500 pounds for reps. Big training week this week. Everything went about as planned. For a week 4, I actually felt really, really good this week. Everything moved really well, and so it is now Sunday, and that set was on Thursday, and my back is still sore from that set. So I'm definitely going to be focusing more on keeping my back neutral. And if the 5th rep can't happen with proper form, then in the future, we're probably just going to let it not happen and build from there. Thank you guys for joining me in the film room, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, welcome back. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay tuned for the next episode, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram so you guys can see these lifts as soon as they happen, relatively, but you can see him sooner than you can on here, that's for sure. If you guys could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. I appreciate it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Make fun of how bad that last deadlift rep was. And I'll see you guys next time.